you are not playing it safe. If you're a busy professional having a full-time job and the only thing that's going for you is a 401k and a savings account, you're actually dumb as shit. Every financial advisor always says to max out your 401k as much as possible. But if you're trying to build wealth and actually gain financial freedom, that's completely false. My name is Simon. I actually work as an engineer for a Fortune 500 company. And in this video, I'll break down why a 401k is actually a scam and why you should not contribute as much to it. Your 401k and your savings account is the best setup that you have, right? And I get it. There's company matches that you potentially have, and it feels responsible because you're doing what your parents say, you're doing what your employers say, so it must be the right thing to do. Here's the problem that nobody talks about. If your 401k and your savings account was actually the strategy, then why do most people retire when they're 65, 70 instead of 45 or 50? Why does someone making $120,000 a year feel like it's not enough? Because this type of strategy, your savings account and your 401k, causes three major problems. Problem number one, you have no control over your money. Your employer picks fund options for you in which you can't even touch until you're 59 and a half without a penalty. And the fees inside those chosen funds eat up your returns. Problem number two, you have no flexibility over that shit. If tariffs and world wars shake up the economy, your money is locked and you can't fucking move. You're missing out on tax-free growth opportunities. Your 401k is tax deferred, but it's not tax-free. That means you pull all your money out when you retire and Uncle Sam is taking his share. If tax rates go up, in which they historically do, you're paying more later than in the past, which leads to you working for 30 years, making a great salary, but then still having to work 10 years later because you don't have enough. I'll tell you this, when I first joined the company and a few months into the training, I got handed over a project and it was the director of food and quality safety. She told me to max out your 401k as soon as possible. But the reason I didn't take her advice is because she's still working. Even though she's 20, 30 years into her career, she's still working for that company, which means she still needs money in order for her to retire. And I don't want that at all. So I took a look at the contributions. I made sure to do the bare minimum to where I could still get the company match, but still have more of my paycheck left over to invest in other assets. So I focused majority of that paycheck into my Roth IRA, my taxable brokerages, and crypto. I went from being a stuck engineer in the beginning of my career, only having $11,000 in my portfolio, to then having $33,000 in just a year. That's a 200% increase in returns. And I didn't do this by maxing out on my 401k. No, I did this by having a system, a structure, and a process in which I owned. I'm not telling you to not contribute to a 401k, because if your company has a match, then take full advantage. That's free money. But what I am saying is make sure that you have other sources that you're funding as well. Your taxable brokerage, your crypto accounts, your Roth IRA, most importantly, since it's tax-free growth. Make sure you have other buckets that you're investing in, not just your 401k. And invest as little as possible so that you could get less penalties and pay less taxes when you do take it out eventually when you're 59 or whatever age that you want. Let's break this down on what I did. I focused on my Roth IRA, which is tax-free growth. This means that no taxes are pulled when you take it out when you retire, and you could withdraw your contributions anytime without any penalties, unlike a 401k. Number two, I also focused on my individual brokerage accounts. This allows me to invest, number one, however much assets I want and whenever I want. And number three, I focused, 10% of my assets into crypto, specifically Bitcoin. It's the future of a digital currency and it has a mission, so I'm gonna support that. And it's backed by the government too. Now let's run this scenario in real time. We have two engineers, two working professionals. One only invests in their 401k, and the second engineer has a system in place for his assets. Engineer one, you make $120,000 a year. You contribute 10% to your 401k every paycheck. That's roughly $12,000 a year. And assuming a 7% growth year over year on average, over a 25-year span, you're ending up with roughly $810,000. But let's consider taxes too. At a 22% tax rate, you actually have $630,000. Engineer number two makes the same amount of money, $120,000 a year, but you split your investments. You have $4,800,000 a year into your 401k, and then you invest $7,000 into your Roth IRA, and the remaining $200 can be used in your taxable brokerages. Now, same average return, 7% per year, even though on average it's actually most likely double that 25 years from now. Your Roth IRA has grown tax-free when you retire. So that entire chunk you could keep to yourself. And your brokerage accounts has been generating you income as you sleep. You could use that cash flow before you're 59. And your 401k still captures that full contribution and has that company match. Now, with that being said, and all those three factors, you end up with more usable income for yourself even before retirement and tax-free gains. And that's with a simple system that you implemented for yourself. This is not working harder. It's just being resourceful and working smarter. And let's say, you don't know how to invest yet, and you're probably thinking, what if I lose that outside money that I'm not investing into my 401k? Hey, dumbass, you're already losing money by fees, penalties, and taxes when you contribute to your 401k fully. Every year you wait to open a Roth IRA account, waiting and waiting, every year you miss out on tax-free gains, and you miss out on those compounding effects as well. Your 401k is a tool, but it's not the whole strategy. A tool is something that you use inside a larger system. People who are actually building wealth are not just relying on one bucket that's giving them a disadvantage, and they are in control of their own money and investments. And when you accept that and start taking action, you stop feeling stuck, you stop wondering on if I'm gonna retire, and you start seeing your net worth grow and compound. You go from being a simple high income employee to a systematized investor. Now, if you're thinking, I need a system, I need guidance, I need structure on this and how I can implement this, go to my bio. I have a Calendly link below so that we could help you get started creating a system to where you can make multiple 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus for yourself passively.